Well, my biography continues. This is biography number 7, and somehow we'll put it all together. But I made a mistake. I just didn't realize how it was. Verizon, wonderful place. Employees are wonderful. Uh, the service is great. I can't say enough about them. When I had trouble getting a provider, they were there for me, and they gave me credit. They actually saved me. You just forget things. I had a little problem, one little problem, in 15 years. What happened was someone took my ripped up check out of the garbage, put it together, and they presented it to the Verizon store in Bloomingdale, and they made a mistake. They honored that check, and it's an honest mistake. Anyone could do that. And so I reported it to the police, and they kind of swept it under the rug, what they usually do with petty crime. And then, what you know, it was about a week later, uh, the petty criminal did it again. They weren't too smart. They presented another check to the same account. And I wouldn't blame Verizon. They can't keep track of every little thing, and so Verizon paid the bill. So I went to the bank, and Verizon cooperated. She stayed on the line with me till the banker could verify that it wasn't my bill. And this time the police reported to the police, and now I told them I had possible witnesses, but can't prove it. What happened was I was staying in one of my townhouses because I was helping one of these petty criminals. In fact, his mother was a decorated police officer from Bartlett. And she told me, she said, he's the bad seed. Anything we do, we're always bailing him out. And so I reported that to the police when had this problem with my account again. So it wasn't Verizon's fault. The police didn't do anything about it. Well, this time they took down the information that I gave them, told them what happened. I can't prove it, but you know, all the evidence was against these petty criminals. Well, what I left out was when I had this guy named Joe. He was the guy that was helping me make the move from the hotel into my townhouse that I was partners with my sister and two brothers. And Joe decided he was going to let his friend Eric come in there. And so he said, well, Eric's only going to stay a couple of days. Well, to speed this along, Eric stayed for about a month, and then they brought in these other yokels, and they did $5,000 in damage that I had to pay for. And so, getting back to Eric, the guy that he brought in, Joe brought in, Eric had a girlfriend. I don't even remember her name. We had a nickname for her, though. It was a good nickname. It suited her because she didn't have good eyesight. I don't know, if that comes back to me, that'll be for another biography. So, uh, this guy's Eric's girlfriend that they brought in had an uncle on the Bloomingdale Police Force. This, am I accusing? No, I'm not accusing the Bloomingdale Police of doing anything wrong. It was just a coincidence. So what happened, I blocked this Eric guy out. I changed the keys, and I didn't get a block away from the house, and I was stopped by the police, and they inspected my car. Well, Eric had told the police that I took his inhaler. He was obviously lying. So the police did their inspection, and they didn't find the inhaler, and I went on my way. And they basically told me that I can't kick him out of my own place. So there's been an uproar this down in Florida. It's even worse than my story. They're going into people that are trying to sell, and they're vacating the house, and these petty criminals would move in and squat on them. And I don't know. I think the law's changed a little bit since then, but that was the law in Florida. So, getting back, if you could follow this, You really know the internet real well. And to cut down the time on the story is this Eric guy and his girlfriend, but he moved out for good. Not long after that, found someone else to take advantage of. And so now that Eric is gone and his girlfriend, the house went up for sale. Eventually we sold it. It is what it is. That's what my brother would always say, my older brother. Yeah, we miss him. He had his own way of doing things. It is what it is. I like that one. Whatever it is what it is. Yeah, it's easier to say every time you say it. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And it happens to be a pile of dung. It is what it is. So, yeah, I have more stories, and they're ongoing. I'm still around. We could have 10 more or 20 more years of biographies. And if they get a little boring, just put them on and turn down the volume and do what you're going to do, and be rest assured that the watch hours are going to go to a good cause. Everyone says that, but I don't say it. You know, I talk the talk, but I also walk the walk. Thanks for watching. I am the Last Ranger at Last Ranger 1330.